Municipal Utility District Number 1 board meeting will come to order. The time is 6 o'clock. I do show a quorum, and today is June 29th, 2016. The citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the board on any matter, whether or not it is posted on the agenda. The board is not permitted to take action on or discuss any presentation made to the board at this time concerning an item not listed on the agenda. The board will hear presentations on specific agenda items prior to the board addressing those items. You may speak up to 3 minutes or the time limit determined by the president or the presiding officer. Do I have any citizens? Anyone? No. We will close that. This is a special session. Agenda number 1. Consider and take appropriate action to approve interlocal agreement for non-standard water and wastewater service with the Town of Trophy Club for the development known as Town Hall, and authorize general manager to execute the agreement. Do we have any staff report on this item?
Yes, I included a staff report with your packet, and just real quickly, I can go over to the changes that I met with the town manager and the town attorney, and it was kind of what I suspected, that there just was a misunderstanding of some of the definitions, and once we cleared those up, it just kind of flowed all through the agreement. So basically, the changes that were made, section 1.4, we changed wherever it said developer in the agreement was changed to town. Section 1.8, we better defined internal facilities to describe just the specific internal facilities that the town will be turning over to the district. So it defines just what their internal facilities are. And as a part of that, we used the term town hall service line, so we decided to add that in as a new definition. Section 3.3, we added a not to exceed amount for the engineering and legal fees. We, in section 4.3E, we clarified.
Question on 3.3. What was your determination of the $7,500?
I asked the engineer what we've spent so far and what he suspects, or expects it will go to, and the same with legal. I got the numbers from them.
Okay, thank you.
4.3E, in that section, we clarified to state that we will only require review of any kind of a change order that's related to the facilities that we will acquire. They have a single contract for the whole town hall, and of course we're not interested in the changes in the color of the paint or the flooring that they're going to use. We're just interested in things that affect the water and wastewater system. We added into section 4.5 to allow that we can do a dual maintenance bond that's made out to both the town and the district for the bond requirement. Section 5.1, we added a statement that the town will grant an access easement to the elevated tank across the property. And in our discussions, we decided that for now they want to, or we can leave the access agreement, the access area as it is, but they are looking at some future expansions possibly on like a maintenance barn type facility. And if they do that, then they may need to move that access, the line, the actual area that we access the tank, they may relocate that. So
The line itself or the area?
just the access itself. It's not the line, but just how we access up to the elevated storage
How
tank.
we get to it, okay.
Yeah. So basically, they may move the driveway.
Gotcha.
The town attorney and the district attorney discussed and decided upon the language for indemnification. Section 10.16 was a new section that we added to the agreement, and it was what we called the out clause, in that normally when a developer seeks service from us, then the the service is there. We're gonna facilitate the service. But because there is a possibility of some off-site facility that we don't know about yet we won't know until the sewer study is completed, they wanted to be able to, if it turned out that it was some very costly off-site facility required in order to get sewer service, they may want to look at other providers or other ways of getting the utility service. So this clause will allow them to terminate the agreement as long as it's done prior to any connection to our system. Then in Exhibit B, we reworked the wording a little bit to just explain the description of a potential off-site improvement related to the sanitary sewer, that right now it's unknown, but that it, if anything is identified, it'll be required, but we don't know if anything will be required until the sewer study is finalized. And at this point, we believe that that study should be finished either next week or the week after that. That's really all I have. I think overall it was very minor changes. I think from the beginning it was just kind of a misunderstanding of what some of the definitions were. So once we got through that, I think it turned out to be all we need.
And what is the staff's recommendation?
Staff's recommendation is to approve the agreement.
Okay, does Mike or Carl have anything to add? Any citizens wish to address this agenda item? Lori?
Can I ask a question?
Just a second. Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Rose?
Director, I move to approve the interlocal agreement for non-standard water and wastewater services with the town of Trophy Club for the development known as Town Hall, and authorize the general manager to execute the agreement.
I have a
I'll second
motion
that.
by Director Rose, a second by Vice President Wilson. Okay, we will have discussion now. You can ask your question.
Yeah, just a quick one. Jennifer, does the current easement through the property, give us the ability to lay this 16-inch pipe we've got to run to the elevated tank, or is that gonna be another issue we've gotta negotiate at a future date? Because we don't know yet how that pipe's gonna get there. In other words, I don't wanna get in a position where all of a sudden we can't get approval to put that pipe in, because we won't be able to put fires out if we don't get water in that tank.
Yeah, we've actually got an easement for a 12-inch water line that they're doing a partial relocation on, and they'll relocate the easement of whatever the partial relocation they do. Also, we have an easement coming up Plaza Drive also.
So we have the ability to get that line to the tank
Yeah.
without this being a problem?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Any other questions?
To that, Mike.
Okay, I just want to make
Go ahead.
I just want to make a short comment. We received this last meeting on the 21st. We, as a board, instructed our general manager to go to the town manager and work this out. We should all take a note on what happened here. The process worked, where the town manager and the general manager communicated and worked through something rather than have two boards come up with what they think and then give it to the town manager. I think in the future, any ILAs or anything like this should go to the town manager and the general manager first, have them work out the agreements, bring out the differences back to the council and the MUD board to discuss, then take it back and work through those recommendations of either board or council. That's my recommendation. I mean, how long was your meeting with Stephen and David? Couple hours?
Yeah, not
I-
even that
yeah,
long, probably an
I mean,
hour and a half, hour.
We have wasted more time on meetings and legal and everything else trying to go through this, and let the two people do their job. That's what we hired them for. Okay, Mr. Rose?
Yes, on page 20 of the packet, I think that's Exhibit B, talks about relocation of 280 foot of linear line from a 12-inch water main or a 12-inch water line. Prior discussions, I understood that the location of that line was there was a question mark on it, whether it was within the easement or not. Did we find that line?
I've not had a question of that. I think the town had a question if it was located in the easement, so.
Okay. Was it found to be in the easement?
Part of it was not in the easement. The eastern part was not in the easement. The western part, as you move forward towards the tank, it deviated from the easement. What we're providing is a new easement along the north side.
Would that make the tape?
Yeah, he talks loud enough.
Okay.
Is that okay, Miguel?
Stephen Seidel, Town Manager, 100 Municipal Drive. There is a easement that runs kind of diagonal across the property. The line is in the easement from the western side about 3/4 of the way over, and as you move closer to the elevated tank, it is slightly out of that easement. What we're proposing is to move that line to the northern. There's an old abandoned road that was through there before Trophy Wood was constructed along that northern boundary, relocate the 12-inch line, give you an easement through that, and then down to the water tank to fit your needs.
Stephen, does that basically pull the line out from being underneath your facilities?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? One last thing, thank you, Stephen and David, for working through this and getting it resolved quickly. So, and Jennifer and staff. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Show us it. Okay, it's unanimous. Passes. Okay, I'll call to adjourn, I think. That's the only thing we had, correct?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
Second, third.
Beach.
Okay, Mr. Rose motion, Mr. Thomas is the second to adjourn. And the motion adjourns. The meeting, go. What?
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor? I think, that's
discussion.
unanimous. Who doesn't want to leave?
Let's go home.
What time are you calling it, President?
It is at 6:13.
10 hours and 9 minutes.
Sorry about that, Pam.